I never expected to hear my own mother say those words. As far as you're concerned, I am God. Right before she tried to steal the house, my father left me. And the worst part? She brought backup, my pregnant, golden child sister, who sat on my porch and had a tantrum like we were still 8 years old. You think you know entitlement? You don't. Not yet. Tonight, I'm telling you how my mother tried to evict me from my own home, how my sister cheered her on, and how one recording the truth turned everything around. Let's spill the tea. I'm 31. My sister's 28. We grew up in the same house, but two very different worlds. Mom always said she was raising a gentleman. When she ordered me around like a servant, she'd snap her fingers for water, point at the trash, toss laundry at me mid-step. If I hesitated, "You owe me everything. I gave you life," she'd say. And then she'd add, "Don't wake your sister. She needs a rest." As if my sister was a queen sleeping off a feast while I scrubbed the castle floors. Back then, I thought that was normal. You don't realize a cage is a cage if you're born inside it. Dad was the opposite. He was flawed, he smoked too much, but he had the steady way about him. He'd fix a broken hinge with the same patience he used to fix a broken mood. He taught me the business, numbers, negotiations, follow-up. He taught me to shake hands, look people in the eye, and keep my word even when no one is watching. When Mom cheated with an old high school boyfriend, our home split like a fault line. I went with Dad. My sister stayed with Mom. And from then on, we were living in parallel universes. Mine built on early mornings and honest work. There's built on what can I get away with today? Years passed. I worked. I learned. 12 years later, I became Dad's partner. The day he slid that partnership contract across the desk, he said, "I wish I could give you the world, kid. This'll have to do." I didn't need the world. I just needed this, the life we built. Then 8 months ago, tragedy struck. Dad caught COVID-19. Years of smoking left him vulnerable. He fought hard but lost fast. 60 years old. The kind of quiet funeral that happens when a virus steals even the ritual of goodbye. No casket, cremation, a video call to mourn a man who deserved a stadium. My mother's face during the service? Indifferent. She looked like someone sitting through an ad she couldn't skip. My sister cried, but Mom, I've seen more emotion from her when an Amazon package came late. The reading changed everything. Dad left me the house, the business assets, the savings. He left my sister a 2015 Nissan Altima and $10,000 in cash. Mom got $1,000 and a couple items she'd been claiming since the divorce. It wasn't a slight. It was a judgment. Dad knew who'd stood next in the rain and who only shown up for the umbrella. I moved into the house. My girlfriend moved in with me. We grieved. We dusted. We fixed a loose stair and oiled the front door because Dad would have wanted that. The house didn't just feel like shelter. It felt like a pulse. Like Dad still walked the hallways in the evening, making sure I'd locked up. For a while, it was quiet. Then came the knock. My girlfriend looked up from her tea. I checked the camera. Exhale, Mom and my sister, together. I hadn't seen them in person since the funeral. They didn't wait to be invited in. They breezed through the doorway like a cold wind, and the house reacted. At least it felt like it did. My girlfriend gave me that tiny "do we need sage?" glance. My sister took herself on a home tour, opened doors, peered into closets, touching frames like she was already measuring where her maternity photos would go. From the hallway, she sings songs. "Mom, it's perfect." Yes, 28 and still mommy. Mom made a beeline for the couch, snapped her fingers, and demanded bottled water, without even looking at me. My girlfriend, saintly patient, handed her one, then stood behind the armchair like a quiet witness. "Why are you here?" I finally asked. Mom crossed her legs, slow, deliberate, judgy. "It's time you did your brotherly duty." I actually laughed. That dry laugh you do when you know an avalanche is about to begin, but your brain is still trying to label it a little snow. She continued, "Your sister's pregnant. She needs stability. You're well off. You can just buy another house. This one, She gestured around like a realtor on commission. Belongs with family. With family, she said, like I was a stranger squatting in a museum she curated. If you insist on staying, she went on, you can keep one room and cover all the bills until you move out. Consider this your formal eviction. My girlfriend and I share a look. We've read enough Reddit. We know exactly where this is going. No, I said plainly. That's not happening. Something snapped in her eyes. She straightened, chin up, and snapped her fingers at me. Stop. I am your mother. You will do as I say. I brought you into this world, and listen carefully. As far as you're concerned, I am God. When I say jump, you say, how high? This house is rightfully mine. Your sister will live here. The silence after that sentence felt like the moment right before glass hits tile. Inside, I felt 16 again. The snapping, the stance, the command voice, the muscle memory of obedience trembled in my bones. But 31-year-old me stood taller. Get out of my house. She rose, eyes blazing, and I pulled out my phone. I'm calling the cops. Her hand flew fast. She smacked the phone from my grip. It clattered across the floor, skittering under the edge of the rug. She moved to stomp like old gum, but I beat her to it. Scooping it up, touch me again. I said, and we're doing this with handcuffs. She slapped me, open palm. Years of humiliation traveling through one strike. Reflex, instinct. I backhanded her, hard enough to drop her back onto the couch. She held her cheek, eyes wide, makeup smearing. My heart pounded its own drumline. My sister barreled into the room, arms out like a referee. Just be a good big brother for once, she cried, the last two words wobbling with a practiced victim quiver. Good brother? I spit the words. Where were you when I was bagging groceries at 16? When I shoveled snow while you slept? When you stole my saved tips to buy shoes? You've never worked for anything. You think pregnancy is a coupon for real estate. My mother hissed. If you call the police, I'll tell them you hit me. And maybe I'll say you threatened a poor pregnant woman. My girlfriend quietly raised her phone. Camera lens a little glass moon. Funny, she said softly, because I've been recording since you walked in. If looks could detonate, our living room would be a crater. They backed toward the door. My mother grabbed my sister's wrist, yanking her outside. And then my sister, 28, carrying a miracle baby, dropped onto the porch step and had a full-body toddler meltdown. She clung to the handrail, sobbing, You promised me. You promised me. My mother tried to pry her fingers free, while throwing me a death glare like I'd stolen Christmas. This, I told her, is what you raised. This is the cost of all those get-out-of-responsibility-free cards. Across the street, Mr. Alvarez paused mid-dog walk. Our neighbor, Mrs. Patel, peered through her curtain. Entitlement doesn't travel quietly. After several humiliating minutes, Mom got my sister to the car with a final look that said, This isn't over. She drove off. I exhaled so long it felt like I deflated. My girlfriend slid her hand into mine. You okay? I hate that I hit her, I said, but I hate more that she thought she still owns me. We made tea, sat on the floor, and watched the front door like it might speak. 3 days. That's how long the quiet lasted. Then came the messages. Cousins. Aunts from Mom's side I hadn't heard from in years. How could you? You are so greedy. Your father will be ashamed. Amazing how people who never call have energy for outrage. I checked my socials, blocked by Mom and my sister. Classic. But my girlfriend? Not blocked. Their profiles were public. Because narcissism is allergic to privacy. They posted that I bribed Dad's lawyer, stole the house, kicked out a pregnant woman. Comments stacked up like dirty dishes. Monster. Give your sister what's hers. Family first. The phrase family first always seems to mean you first when they want something. We screenshotted everything. Dates, times, captions, comments. We printed them out like receipts because they were. I called Dad's lawyer, now my lawyer, Mr. Kent, the sort of man who smiles with only his eyes and owns a collection of identical Navy suits. He listened, then said, "A formal cease and desist should do it." I stared at the stack of screenshots, at the video thumbnail where my mother's hand was cocked mid-slap, mouth open around a lie. "No," I said, "we go further. Send a letter by express mail, signature required, and draft a second letter. If they don't retract, I go public. Company HR, Airbnb host page. The works." He considered me for a moment. "Understood." The letter arrived at 10:37 a.m. I know, because my phone rang at 10:39. My mother's voice was smoke and gasoline. "How dare you threaten me? I did what I did for your sister. She needs that house. You knew Dad's will." I said, "You knew before he died. You just didn't think it counted. Retract everything, apologize, or I send a video to everyone you've ever know." She sputtered. She monologued. She tried the old spells. Guilt, shame, how dear son, and I didn't bend. "Last chance," I said. "Tell the truth." She hung up. That evening, the post vanished. Then came the apologies that weren't apologies. I jumped the gun. Pregnancy hormones. I just wanted what's best for my daughter. The comments turned. The same cousins who called me greedy posted, "So sorry," and we didn't know the whole story. Dad's side? They never believed her. Not for a second. Aunt Linda wrote, "We stood by your father for a reason." That felt like a hand on my shoulder, but the bridge was burned. Actually, it had never been built. There had only ever been a rope I tied on my end. The drama spilled into work. A long-time client pulled me aside on a site visit. "I saw some stuff online," he said, embarrassed for even bringing it up. "We handled it." I told him and showed him one screenshot. The "I am God" line. You don't need to defend yourself when the truth is a nuclear weapon. He shook his head. "You've got your father's backbone," he said. "Keep it." Neighbors? Mr. Alvarez brought over a pie the next day and said, "We heard shouting." I didn't want to pry, just wanted to check if you're okay. "We're okay," I said. "It was the family thing." He winced sympathetically. "Aren't they always?" Meanwhile, Mom kept her Airbnb running. 2 upstairs rooms she rents for a small empire of 5-star reviews. My sister and her boyfriend moved into the basement. Cement floors, dehumidifier hum, a small, high window that only shows ankles and the occasional squirrel. My sister went back online to cry that she couldn't even live upstairs. The irony of wanting my house for stability, while living in an Airbnb hotel, never crossed her mind. I didn't engage. Silence is a masterclass. It's strange what trauma hands you when you're not looking. I remember the night at 15. Mom told me to mow the lawn at 9 p.m. because the grass is bothering me. I said the neighbors would complain. She said, "They won't. I'll tell them you're troubled." She laughed like it was a joke. But it wasn't. It was a warning. "I'll rewrite your story if you don't obey." Another memory. My sister borrowed my headphones. They were a gift from Dad, wrapped with note for working so hard. I asked for them back. She said, "Mom said I could keep them. You have Dad, I have Mom." That division, it was a family crest. When I think about backhanding my mother that day, I don't feel proud. I feel grateful to my body for finally protecting me when my brain used to freeze. Quiet. No one should ever have to hit or be hit. But if you live with abuse, you know the horrifying miracle of finally not shrinking. A week later, they returned. This time they parked crooked, like they were in a hurry to ruin something. My girlfriend looked at me, phone already in hand. I nodded. They didn't enter. Mom stood on the porch step, chin high, the porch light making a halo she didn't deserve. "I want to talk," she said. Privately. "No," I replied. "Anything you say to me, you can say to her." I gestured to my girlfriend or to my lawyer. "Your choice." She folded her arms. "You're making a mistake. Family is everything." "Family is everything when family act like family," I said. "You acted like a thief who brought a lying witness." My sister, eyes puffy, hair in a messy bun that could have been cute if it weren't attached to entitlement. We had a plan. There it was, the confession wrapped in toddler logic. "What plan?" I asked, She looked at Mom, then at me. Mom said you'd understand. That you didn't really want this old house. That you'd do the right thing and give it to me. She said it was always supposed to be mine because you had Dad and I had her. I blinked. Do you hear yourself? My girlfriend finally spoke. He has a will from their father. The law is not a suggestion. Mom waved her hand. The law can be persuaded. And that, I said, is why Dad left you $1,000 in a box of things that were already yours. Mom's eyes flashed. He owed me more. He owed you exactly what the judge said he owed. You screamed at him last time you saw him that he owed you money. That's what you remember? Money? For a second. Just a second. I saw the thing beneath the monster. The fear. The loneliness. The what if I am nothing without control. It flickered, then hid. Leave, I said. Before I called the police for real. She hesitated, then threw her final dart. You'll regret this when your sister's baby needs a home. The baby isn't a pawn, I said. Stop making people into tools. They left, the car's taillights dragging red across the curb. I realized I'd been holding my breath. 2 days later, Uncle Mike, Mom's brother, called. He's the type who tells the same joke 5 times and laughs harder each time. He was quiet now. Kid, he said, your mom's been calling everyone. I told her to stop. I told her she's wrong. I sat on the edge of the bed. Thank you, he sighed. I wasn't always there when you were young. I'm sorry for that, but I know who you are. Your dad was proud of you. Keep that house. Keep your peace. Don't let this turn you bitter. After we hung up, I cried in the shower for the first time in years. Not because of Mom, because someone said the one thing I needed. I see you. Mr. Kent called, confirmed both retractions were posted. He drafted one final letter. Any future defamation would result in immediate legal action. He added a line I loved. The truth is sufficiently loud. Do you want to send it? He asked. Yes, I said. Send it. He paused. You're doing well, you know. Most people cave to family. I smiled without meaning to. I used to cave to family. Now I choose family. Life settled. The house got quieter in a way that felt clean, not empty. I fixed another hinge. Repainted the kitchen a warmer white. Kept Dad's mug on the shelf even though the handles cracked. We started Sunday breakfast. Pancakes. Jazz playing soft. The window cracked to lend the morning and let out the past. My sister kept posting here and there. Cryptic quotes about betrayal. Images of ultrasound with captions like, "We'll be okay, baby." People sent them to me. I didn't respond. Not everything deserves your reply. Mom's Airbnb reviews dipped for a month, then rose again. People forget quickly when the linens are clean and the check-in instructions are clear. That's fine. I wasn't looking for revenge. I was looking for distance. Sometimes I drive past Dad's cemetery plot on the way home from work. I roll down the window and tell him about the little things. The porch we resealed, the first lilac bloom, how the neighborhood kid drew chalk stars on the sidewalk that looked a little like constellations. House is good, Dad. I say, I'm taking care of it. I'm taking care of me. Months later, a cream-colored envelope appeared in our mailbox. My sister's baby shower. Hosted by Mom. The RSVP card had glitter. Of course it did. My girlfriend looked at me. Do you want to go? I turned the card over in my hand. Part of me wanted to show up with grace, to be bigger than the past. Another part of me pictured Mom collecting niceness, like poker chips to cash in later. I mailed back the RSVP with a simple note, wishing you health and peace. We'll send a gift. We did. Diapers, a practical stroller, a handwritten message. May your child always know love without strings. No response. That's okay. Gifts given with expectations attached are favors disguised as bombs. When the baby finally arrived, I got a text from Uncle Mike with a photo, a wrinkled little miracle wrapped like a burrito. A week later, by chance, I ran into my mother in the hospital hallway when I was visiting a client in the next wing. We stopped. Silence telescoped. How is the baby? I asked. She pursed her lips, then softened just a fraction. Healthy, she said. Loud. Good. I said, Loud is good. She glanced away, then back. We're moving a crib upstairs. Basement's damp. I nodded once. That's good. We stood there, two stubborn planets with intersecting orbits. I didn't expect an apology. I didn't offer one. I didn't know one. But I did say, do right by that child. She bristled, then surprised me. I intend to, she said quietly. I walked away first. Not to win, to live. I kept the house. I kept my name. I kept the dignity of the work Dad taught me. I kept the love that doesn't ask for payment. What I didn't keep, the belief that I have to set myself on fire to keep other people warm. Some nights, I stand at the window, look over the front yard, and think about that day. The slap, the recording, the tantrum on the steps. I don't feel triumph. I feel release. The kind of quiet that comes after a storm tears through, and the air smells like new earth. If you've ever been told, family is everything as a way to hold you hostage, listen to me. Family is everything when family acts like family. Until then, your peace is everything. So tell me, what would you do if your mother and your pregnant sister tried to evict you from your own home? Would you hand it over, play diplomat, or draw the hardest line? I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you made it this far, you're a part of the Reddit T crew. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and come back for more true, jaw-dropping stories where entitlement meets reality and reality fights back. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves. And remember, boundaries aren't walls. They're doors you choose who to open for.